Welcome to the Social Propaganda Club. This is Shouting Fire Radio, simulcasting on 99.5 FM Radio Equinox on the Burning Man Playa.
They stuck you in the dirt while I was still away. Nobody had the decency to tell me about it anyway. Well, I guess it's for the best that they laid you down to rest without some wreck like me to ruin things and turn into a mess. Well, I remember when we ran away and the car we stole broke down along some dusty desert highway with nobody else around. And so we hitched a ride to Reno, but the ring I got you wouldn't fit, and the minister got drunk before we laughed till we got sick. And of course I know you could have done much better, and I know that I must have been your bad habit, some rotten man, nobody's savior, your oldest friend. And when I do sleep, the nightmares come. This hell I live in hasn't been the same without you here. Our daughter still won't speak to me. My letters aren't returned at all. I can't believe the mess I made of things. And of course I know you could have done much better, and I know that I must have been a real fucking nightmare, some rotten man, nobody's savior, your oldest friend.
Hello, my name is River, and I am a music addict. And with me today, I have, I think, another music addict. And so I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Noah, and I am a musician and a storyteller under the stage name Willa the Whisperer, originally from Scotland and now living in the Netherlands.
Welcome to the Social Propaganda Club.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so I actually met you. The first time I ever saw you perform, you were doing a storytelling. And you did some amazing stories, both in the content of the story and the way that you present it. It's such an art. That was the first time I've been to a storytelling event.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And it was really moving. I really enjoyed it. And then after that, I've seen you perform music.
Yes.
And so you are very multi-talented.
Yes, my many-hatted career, as I like to call it.
Yeah. You've actually told me about before how your parents very much encourage you to be an artist. That's
Yeah.
not the most usual thing that parents do.
I'm very lucky in that sense. I grew up in a very musical family. My dad played guitar, sang, my mum sings, played piano, and they used to sing together as a little group. And so I was kind of always surrounded by music. And I grew up in Scotland, so a lot of folk stories, folk music was kind of in my bones and in my blood. And I always wanted to write. And I started writing songs, I think when I was 13-ish, and they were terrible songs.
As everyone's first songs
As
are.
everyone starts out, and then...
I'm still writing terrible songs.
Listen, if it works and it helps, then it's not terrible. That's kind of what I learned. Like, I look back on them and I'm like, oh, terrible songs, but they were what I needed, and so they weren't terrible. And that is kind of what art has always been to me. My stories... My songs, they are things that I want to hear and I needed to hear or I needed to write.
And often someone else needs to hear that
Yes.
as well. And that's what makes art so great.
That's what makes art so great. That's what connects us. And so, yeah, and then in 2019, I decided to kind of step into folk storytelling, which was not an unnatural step from the music that I was already making. And a lot of it intertwines, and I try to kind of combine storytelling music. So a lot of my lyrics are very story based, and I love telling stories, sharing stories, and writing about the weird and wonderful world we live in.
That's great, and you do an amazing job at it. So if anyone out there ever has the opportunity to go and hear you either tell stories
Yes.
or play music, Willow the Whisperer.
Willow the Whisperer, yeah. As in Will-o'-the-Wisp, but Whisperer.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself, about who you are?
Yeah, I think that for me, art and music has always kind of driven the way I live my life. I always am looking for community, connection, and I find the easiest way to do that is through art. Certainly, I came out as gay when I was very young, and music was always a shelter for me in those times, and helped me figure out who I am and who I wanted to be, and helped me realize that even if I wasn't that person yet, I could still get there. And I like to think that that is a growth process that is continuous and hopefully will continue until I am well into my old age. And that is kind of the philosophy I live by, this idea that we can always grow and change, and we are never fixed and set in stone. And that's kind of what I like to live by and like to bring to the world.
That's a great perspective to have. And there are so many people who, and of course we don't know everything about every individual person, but there are so many people that we meet in life that are very set in their ways.
Yes.
And or they're trying to work toward a point that they are set in their ways. They want to have all the possessions that they want.
Yeah.
They want to get to that, and then it's like, well, I got mine, and now I'm happy.
Yeah.
And now I can be content, and then just exist.
Yeah, that idea of wanting to get to a point where you have it all figured out. And I think that is a fallacy that is fed to us to control us, ultimately. Because I think it's much easier to control someone and a people who are set in their ways and are not willing to listen to other people. And so I'm quite against that idea.
Yeah. Also, if you're pinned down, then it's more easy to market to you, or to sell you things, or to manipulate who you should vote for.
Everything has to fit into the idea that you already have. So if something's marketed towards you and marketed to that idea, it's easy to be like, oh, well, I need that as well, because it fits the brand of myself that I've built. And that's also part of like why I do so many different things in my career. I do music, storytelling, combination, whatever, poetry, I don't care. Because I don't want to limit myself. If something needs to be told in a certain way and a different medium, I want to allow myself to be open to that and open to explore different mediums, different genres. People always ask me, what kind of music do you make? And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever music the story needs to be told in. And I think that is maybe not the most capitalistically helpful career choice, but I think it is what I want to be as an artist, and also in my personal life.
I think that's the reason why it's so important that we have artists.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that in the way our world system, our country systems are formulated, that not enough importance is put on art and the role that artists play. And I very much agree with you that there's this pressure to be put in boxes.
Yeah.
And
to be marketable.
Yeah. and everybody wants you to be in a certain box, you know, and they, whether or not you are, they'll try to like put you, maybe you belong there or you belong there, to pin you down.
Yeah.
But to recognize that there are no boxes.
No.
And try to smash the boxes in your mind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This show is actually being broadcast on the Playa during the Burning Man Festival. And it'll be also available afterwards on the YouTube archive. If anyone out there misses parts of it and wants to find it, you can look it up on the YouTube channel Social Propaganda Club. So the format of today is I'm going to play, I've picked an album that I think you might like. From how much I know you, I thought that you might appreciate the album. We'll see how much it matches, because in the second part of the program, then you've brought some music.
Yeah.
And we'll listen to that and see
if we've got overlap.
If it's some overlap or if you've found something new that you like to. And we're going to listen to several songs by the Taxpayers from their most recent album, Circle Breaker. So the first thing I want to ask you, have you ever heard of the Taxpayers?
No, this is completely new for me. So that's
Okay.
exciting.
That's good, because I made about a 3-minute little mashup of some of their songs, my most favorite songs from them. And I'll just let you know that the Taxpayers is maybe one of my most favorite bands.
Okay.
And I have so much history with them, you know, as much as a person just listening to them has history. But of course, every album, every song means something and has a certain context in time.
Of course.
And I think their first album came out in 2007. I did not discover them until December 2010.
Okay.
And I remember precisely because things were going on in my life at the time. And when I found that album, it was crazy amazing for me. So I'll now play about 3 minutes. And this is songs throughout their career.
Cool.
And it's just my most favorite songs.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, God, fight, windows locked up and hidden from the street in a crawl space. Forgotten money, people tensing and waiting to come back home. You can feel the tension in the house the moment you walk through the door. Looks like the monsoons are coming to ruin the 4th of July. It always ends up exactly like this every year at exactly this time. Oh, I went outside, took down the flag, reduced it to rags and engulfed it in fire. Only a nation under manipulation could swallow the lies. I'm out of line, I'm out of line. I'd better get my ass back in the line. Only a country filled with idiot people can swallow the lies.
That is your introduction to the Taxpayers.
Wonderful.
Tell me what your first impressions are.
I like it. I think it's really interesting to hear kind of how they started with much more a punky, unpolished sound, and that towards the end I was hearing more of the melodic, slow stuff. And I think that it's likely that I'm going to lean more towards that side, even though I really enjoy the punk and I go to a lot of punk shows and like love it. But when I'm like listening at home, I'm much more likely to listen to the slightly softer, more melodic side of it. But I found it really interesting to kind of hear that trajectory. And I think their lyrics are very strong. And I have a feeling that that's where I'm going to find a lot of interest.
I'm glad that you say that, because the reason that I put that mashup together was to give a little context to them. About how much broader they are than this last album.
Yeah.
But then this last album, I thought would meet your...
Be more in my corner.
Yes, exactly. Because it is a bit quieter, a bit more melodic.
Yeah.
And but still really strong
yeah.
songwriting. So before we listen to the album, we're going to get a little bit of the context, and I'm going to read you some of the liner notes. And this is written by the band, but also by more personally by Rob Taxpayer. So they mentioned it's been nearly a decade since their last album in 2016, and so much has changed for Rob Taxpayer personally. 2016 was the year I got sober. I got married in 2019. I watched friends and family get married, commit suicide, start businesses, start families, get murdered. I moved across the country. I became a father. And amid all these occasions of joy and tragedy and heartbreak and love and loss, I found myself wondering what I have learned and what I will tell my son when he inevitably tells me that he is scared and confused by this world that he has been brought into. Why do these things happen? What is the point of it all? Not long after we began working on this album, amid a week of turmoil, Andrew Taxpayer texted me a photo he had taken of a tree stump. In the previous week, his friend's child, a young adult who he had watched grow up and shared a home with, had been gunned down and murdered over a dispute at a park a few blocks away. In the following day of horror, as friends and family began to gather at their homes to hold each other and mourn, a chainsaw began to roar, shaking the windows and drowning out the grief. A cherry tree that stood on city property in front of their house had grown roots which were breaking the concrete sidewalk, and it was now being cut down by workers in hard hats. And they were doing a bad job of it. They hacked and hacked away at it until nothing but a mangled stump remained. It was terrible and surreal, he told me, on a day that was already terrible and surreal. But life begrudgingly continued for those that remained. They ate meals, ran errands, tried to get work done when they could, and then one day, not long after, as Andrew was walking back home, he noticed something on the mangled stump of the old tree in front of the house. New growth. Tiny little branches with buds forming into leaves. A new tree being born from the old. Whether there is purpose written into the chaos of each day is probably beside the point. When the day is done, another will begin, and so on. The purpose, if we choose to make one up, is entirely dependent on us. As often as life unfolds into wonder and beauty, it also becomes cold and hard. And in the complexity of the modern world, it may seem like right and wrong are beginning to blur. But when life is confusing and horrible, and when the path forward is obscured, here is what I will tell my son. It is always right to be kind. It is always right to seek to be better. It is always right to confront cruelty and to oppose violence. We are here to help each other. We are here to understand each other. We are here to learn how to love each other. And that, I will tell him, is what being punk as fuck is all about. I hope you enjoyed the new album. That's the introduction to the album. And if you have the album and you look at the cover,
Yeah.
which I'm now showing Noah the cover,
Yeah.
there's a stump on the cover with a small branch of greenery growing out of the top.
I like that the stump is drawn and that the greenery is real. I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, this is the band
Intense.
that's intensely DIY.
Love it. Love it.
So now we have a short interview with Andrew Taxpayer that will tell us a little bit more context about this album. I'd like to thank Andrew for sitting down with me and having this discussion about the new album. I had originally only asked for about 5 minutes, but he was very gracious and we ended up speaking for about 45 minutes. So this is only a small portion of the larger discussion that we had and the portion most relevant to the new album. I just have one question. I know that the first song is Circle Protector. And I read the whole thing about the stump and the branch growing out of the stump,
Yeah.
which was really cool. But I'm wondering, with the name of the album, Circle Breaker, how does that come in? That the name of the album is Circle Breaker when it seems like it's more about the circle of life and protecting those around you, but then the album title is Circle Breaker. I have my suspicions, but was there some specific thought behind that?
Sure. Yeah, I guess it is depends on what the circle is representing. I think the circle in the album represents many things. It's more of the concept of circle in nature in a way. So I guess in context for Circle Breaker, it's a song about a friend of ours who was tragically murdered at a house show in Minneapolis, our friend August. And so in that context, I think it's more, about having a circle of protection. I think Rob has said in other interviews too about how, he like blessed his space and tried to extend that out like to his community, being like, this is a safe place out into the world, and those kind of things growing bigger. I think Circle Breaker, is a whole album concept in this way. I think it's about maybe liberation from cyclical nature. I guess we could all take it in different ways, but it's like circles of oppression or like these cycles of violence that kind of perpetuate themselves and wanting to get away from them, and kind of having the first song be about protection and the grand overarching thing be about, circles of oppression can kind of pull you into the idea of like the circle being all encompassing, but at the same time, we can all like break beyond it.
I sort of see the way that the songs throughout the album, they go back and forth between those. And there are songs that are very much about protecting the circle of friends around you and the importance of the community and protecting those circles. But then there are songs that are more about, those circles of the things that you actually want to break away from. And I
Right.
think when you listen to the song, when I listen to the song, listen to the album, it's really a ride as you
Yeah.
as you go on songs that are very sentimental and reflective, and then songs that are quite harsh and like about evil being everywhere.
Yeah.
The musical arrangement really reflects the mood of each song. And so
Mhm.
some songs like Evil Everywhere, I think it's a great song, but the musical arrangement after Circle Protector is like suddenly this harsh thing, and you're almost like, oh, and
Yeah.
you like jump back a little bit from it, and this back and forth through the whole album between these different songs is I think it has to the album really has to be listened to as a whole through the whole album.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like even, because we do have like very specific concept albums as a band. But when we are like writing as a band, I mean, it's like almost impossible for Rob's writing strategy to just have it be songs. Like there was a moment where like, what is the connecting theme between all of these songs? And it was kind of floated up being like, what if these are just songs? And it was just like, no, no, it needs to be conceptual. And I think some of the last songs on the album kind of were as like a focus to like glue that concept together
Mm.
of the cyclical nature of things. And so, yeah, even if it's not as like pronounced and in your face of it being like conceptual as a whole album as like the Henry Turner album, all of the Taxpayers albums do have underlining themes. And so, yeah, it's like we're really focused on it being seen as one piece of art. So like the transitions between songs, where the songs are placed and the message behind them are all pretty intentional.
You were mentioning how you write these songs and the album, and I know that like Rob may do a large amount of the writing, or you contribute to writing, but then everybody contributes. I always found that such a fascinating concept that the taxpayers have stuck to pretty well, I guess, throughout your entire career, that you make decisions and you make the album as a group. It's not one person just making things and delivering it to the rest of the band.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a labor of love for sure. I mean, everyone in the band has like really cool opinions and we're a lot stronger together as a group. But yeah, I mean, it is challenging for sure. I mean, I've definitely been in bands in both situations where it's more it's I think the hardest thing about having it to be super inclusive is to make sure everyone feels heard and like actually end up making something. Because I've definitely been in bands where it's like everyone is a part of the process, but then there's like no like executive decisions that are ever made, and it
Yeah.
can kind of hinder the process. But I mean, that's just something that I mean, we've been a band for at this point. I mean, I joined a little bit later, but Rob and Noah started playing. I mean, it's coming up on 20 years. And we did have a little sabbatical there for a minute, but it's like we grew up together. We've lived in vans together, and we're family. So yeah, it's just important to us to like make sure everyone's like heard and everything's copacetic. It's like it's also, it's a reflection of how we want the world to be as well, in this way that sometimes it's more challenging and it'd be a lot easier if someone was just like, no, we're doing it this way, and everyone's like, okay. So, you know, yeah, the taxpayers are a true democracy.
Do you have a personal favorite song from the album?
Ooh, it's a good question. I think maybe I Am 1000 is my favorite. I don't know. I feel like that one just does a really good job of, I don't know, it has like both new and old taxpayers elements in this way that's, I think, really uniquely us, but also like really, recognizable, just kind of like genre specific. And also I really like the message and the story, like and it just kind of being more of like a um in your face like political kind of song. So I just really like how it came together. And also Noah's drum work on it was really, really fantastic. So yeah, I think that was probably my favorite.
I'm just curious. You've never toured Europe, have you?
No, we
You've toured
haven't.
Australia, but not
Yeah,
Europe.
we just did Australia. I know we really want to tour Europe. I mean, personally, I've wanted to do that for so long. Yeah, I mean, obviously logistics are tough for that. And we got like invited to a festival in Australia by someone who had kind of been asking us on and off for maybe 10 years. And so it finally just kind of worked out. Yeah, I think we would really like to do it. But yeah, at the same time, I think, yeah, we need a little breather from doing the international stuff because it is really exhausting. Long and short of it is we are definitely due to be in Europe, and I would love that.
Well, if you ever decide to come, I can hook
Mhm.
you up with all of the right people and venues, at least in Netherlands, also a bit of Scandinavia. So
Cool.
make this
Yeah,
happen. We'll make this happen one day.
definitely. Yeah, well, let's keep in touch. That sounds wonderful. I know. Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
So that is our introduction to the album. I'm wondering, do you have any impressions? Are you building up your anticipation?
I'm very interested. I mean, I love a political album. I'm always going to love a political album, obviously. But this one, to me, it feels like an interesting mix of global politics, but also very personal politics. And I mean, that's kind of what I expect from a folk punk album. That's not hugely crazy. But I'm very excited to kind of get into some of the lyrics and some of the themes that they're going to cover. So I'm excited.
I'm taking note of some of the things you're saying because I want to explore some of these things about you afterwards, which I'll ask a lot of questions. And so you're raising a lot of very interesting things. But let's not delay. I know the audience out there on the playa are probably like, I want to listen to this album now. Stop talking and shut the hell up and play the song. So we're going to play the first two songs from the album to give you a little bit of contrast of how the album goes back and forth from this circle breaking and circle protection.
Take all the people that I don't know yet, put them in bottles that you can pretend, flash burn their living to my memories, float down the river out into the sea. Float down the river out into the sea. Tell all the senseless events to be gone. Give all the naked a place to belong. Take all the broken, displace it on knees. Float down the river out into the sea. Circle my sun, circle my home, circle my planet and all that is known. A circle protecting, enriching within, endlessly ending to always begin, endlessly ending to always begin. Tell all the senseless events to be gone. Give all the naked a place to
So that was the first two songs off the album. What are you thinking?
Fantastic. I mean, I was saying to you as it was playing, I think with that first song, you absolutely nailed me down, because like I love the close harmony beginning, that kind of quiet, beautiful kind of melodic sound that it started with, and I love a trumpet, and that solo trumpet is just always gonna hit me right in the chest. But I was very pleasantly surprised at the switch to the second song with regards to like genre and
it's a pretty harsh transition.
It's a harsh transition, but it's a fun transition.
Yeah.
And I love how quickly it's like, okay, this is going to be an album that jumps all over the place, which if you're making an album about society currently, I think that is a very interesting way to get the feeling that we all have, where we're constantly being pulled in different directions and things are constantly changing, and to be able to switch up so quickly in musical styles really, I think, illustrates that really well. I love it. Yeah, you've got me.
I think you're right about the dichotomy. On the one sense, the world is so overwhelming at the moment. Things happen so fast, and so horrible things that are happening. And we're all looking for what is the meaning here, and what can we find that's we can hold dear and love, and so it really explores the two sides of that.
Yeah, and I think starting with a song called "Circle Protector" that is about holding everybody close, and I do think that I really like that it's "Circle My Planet and All That Is Known," and the idea that your circle. And we should be aiming for our circle to be everybody, and we should be, trying to include everyone. But even to go from a song that's so quiet and so soft about, your circle and protecting what is your own, and then when you break out of that and you go to, evil everywhere, which there is, to kind of go straight into that kind of noise static, immediately gets you in that mood of like, okay, we've broken out of the circle. And then, the album is obviously called Circle Breaker. So you immediately get pulled out of the comfort of the softness of the first song into this like harsh static and kind of jarring saxophone. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, very much a reflection of life.
Very much so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But also a very important message there, that it's not just to make community and to find those locally who you can actually connect with is not just about taking small slices of society. We still have to think about
we want to build a better world.
The entirety of the world and everything that is known.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. I mean there is something so evocative about float down the river out into the sea in our ongoing refugee crisis and constant news about small boats. There is something so evocative about those lines, and I highly doubt that is an accident on behalf of these writers.
That's what I love about the Taxpayers, is there are so many lines and so many of the different songs that really connect. I mean, everybody has their own context, but you can pull out the line, and whether it's what they mean to or not, it's so poetic and has such meaning and has such great visual illusions.
Absolutely.
That you can really draw meaning from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do love the all of the sounds of the like cassette deck in the second song, and the static that's kind of constantly going through that, almost making it feel like everything, from televised blackjack live stream war, like even the song feels like it is being streamed or recorded, and you immediately get that idea of the kind of the age that we live in, where everything is recorded, everything is televised,
and so many things are also performative.
Right, exactly. That I think that I really like the use of the music as a medium for the lyrics and for the message. I think that's a really strong album for that, from what I've heard so far.
Okay. So it's very difficult for me to choose out. Every single song in the album I think is absolutely amazing, and it is a concept album, so it really should be listened to in its entirety.
And I will be doing so.
But we just don't have the time today to do that, so I'm going to choose out two more songs which also have this dichotomy between them.
Let's do it.
the dog catchers. I find hope in cartoons from discarded magazines. Where do I find salvation in this ecosystem? Love is more than I can take. I make friends with the late and the disorder. I find truth in the laws of an old technology. Where were you when I needed you? This is more than I can take. Every minute I begin, I end. Every circle is a means to someday come back again. I knew you when you were still alive. I got no faith in glory lies from dreams that came before me. Kill the gods, save all the dogs. Hell, who remembers anything at all? I'm in love with the leaks from the rain gutter. I get lost on the way to a high fidelity. I don't know where all the days have run. Watch 'em circle down the drain. I take cues from the words of the dead peasants. I lock arms with the foes of the new theology. Where have all my oldest friendships gone? There ain't nothing left to save. Every minute I begin, I end. Every circle is a means to someday come back again. I knew you when you were still alive. I got no faith in glory lines from dreams that came before me. Kill the gods, save all the dogs. Hell, who remembers anything at all?
That was another pair of songs in this dichotomy of circle breaking and circle protecting. Any impressions that you'd like to share?
The first song, the war that we listened to, the war with the dog catchers, I mean, I said it in the previous song as well. I love a trumpet. I love a solo trumpet. But particularly in this one, you were saying it sounds like a soothing, but also like an alarm. And I think for me, especially with the snare drum that kind of went through the whole song, it reminded me of The Last Post, which is the solo trumpet that always plays at memorial services, war memorial services. And I think that there was this real sense of remembrance, and that war always hopefully comes with the end of war, but that also comes with the consequences. And this kind of idea of where have all my oldest friendships gone, this emptiness that comes with war, was really present for me in that song. But then in the second song was like, I am a mountain, I am a thousand, this sense of hope. And I think that that's what I'm getting from a lot of this, the dichotomy in a lot of this album, is there is a sense of there is a future, there is hope. And we have to keep remembering that through all of the kind of nightmarish things that are happening, that there is going to be a future, and that is what we are fighting for. And I like the kind of the contrast between that, the reality check, but also the hope. And I think that's so important to keep in mind.
Yeah, I find your reflections amazing. It's I entirely agree, and as I listen to each song in the album, I get the same thing. You know, you're back and forth between this despair and hope.
Yeah, exactly.
And but I think in the end of the album, it comes more around to just reminding there is hope.
Yeah.
And not to just live for the future,
yeah,
but to also live for the present.
It's so easy to get bogged down in everything being terrible. I mean, it is easier than ever nowadays with the social media and doom scrolling. It's so easy. And I am noticing, certainly in the music circles that I run in and in the folk punk scene as well, in a genre that is often so angry, there is a lot more here in these genres more than ever a turn towards, okay, but remember the people around you. Remember there is hope. Remember to love and to look around you and to hold the people who are close to you, because that is so important. And I find it so interesting that that is coming from a genre that most people dismiss as angry and nothingy. And this is where I'm finding it, and this is where I'm seeing it. And I think that's so important to remember.
Yeah, I have the same experience, that we are surrounded by this doom and doom scrolling and all of this, and getting off of that doom scrolling and seeing the people around you.
Yeah.
And I think you share the same feeling as when you go to a local show.
Yeah.
It just means everything.
It's so...
It rejuvenates
Yeah.
the batteries.
Yeah.
You
It's
see,
healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You connect to these people. It's not just going and passively listening to music.
No.
It's actively listening and taking part in the music
Yeah.
and letting it flow through you in
Yeah.
one respect, but also with those around you
Yeah.
and community, and sharing the feelings of
Yeah.
what's happening in that, and before and after the show, also talking to the people and
Yeah.
becoming friends with them and feeling like this is my community, this is my support.
And I've always found music so connecting. I mean, it does. People always say music is the universal language, but there is a truth to that. There is something about being in a show with a group of people, and you know you're all there for the same reason. You're all there because you love this music and you care enough to be going out and going to the live music and connecting with people. And I mean, certainly in Europe, it's so easy to travel to shows in different countries. You meet so many different people, and you meet people from everywhere, that you realize how big the community is and how many people are there to support you and form circles and form communities. And I think that's so important to remember in these days.
Another thing I'd like, not to bash on the US, and I'm sure this is done in some places in the US or anywhere else in the world, but in Europe, or at least in the Netherlands, there's a lot of these shows that are very local driven shows, but they'll start out with a vegan dinner.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a great thing to get to know people.
Yeah.
It just gives that opportunity to talk to somebody and to really make those people that you see often at the shows, they're really your friends.
Yeah, and to really connect and to, really form a bond. And I think that those bonds then last longer. And I have noticed it also more in like other communities, that often the like hardcore fans will be like in a Facebook group or whatever, we're going to get drinks at this bar before. Anyone who wants to join, anyone who's coming to the show, you feel free to join. And that is such an important period of time and such an important action, and welcoming people who are maybe going to the show alone or have not been to a show before. Just being like, we're getting beers, we're getting, some drinks, come join, and just meet people. And then we can all go to the show together and really have that community feeling.
Yeah. It's more than just being fans of a band or fans of some music.
It's being part of a movement.
It is. It's exactly that. It's a movement. It's a community.
Yeah.
It's welcoming. And that's the thing I love about punk rock in general, but folk punk I find especially so, that it's very welcoming and it takes in all of and I say it in a good way, it takes in all the freaks and it welcomes them with open arms.
100%. And I think that I'm definitely, this album is giving me a lot of hope, even though we've just listened to a song called Evil Everywhere, or Evil is Everywhere, and yet so much of this album is steeped in community and love and hope. And I think that's what you see on the album cover as well, with the tree stump that is growing the leaves again. Like, no, even if there is evil everywhere, and even in the darkness, there is these new branches, there's new life, there's new love, but you have to be prepared to look for it, and you have to be able to welcome it in. And I think that's what we have to keep remembering. And I think while we're going to be confined at times, is the last line of The War with the Dog Catchers. And it's that at times that is so important. Not all the time.
Yeah.
There will be moments of darkness, but it's remembering that those moments of darkness pass.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important about this.
It does get better.
It does get better.
Yes. You hear that as a cliche so often, but it is true.
It does. And we have to remember that. And we have to keep remembering that and keep saying it, because it's easy to forget.
Yeah. So if anyone out there who hasn't been to a live show recently, this is a good reason. Get out there to a live show. Go to whatever's happening beforehand. Talk to the people there.
Go to a small local show as well. Support your local community. Support, independent venues, independent artists. That is where change is happening. That is where the music and the community is happening.
Stop arguing about what punk is on a Facebook page.
Just go.
And just get out there and live
Meet people.
It is. Yeah.
Talk to people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to play one more song from the album. And once again, it's very difficult to choose out which ones. And you must, everyone out there listening, you must go and listen to the entirety of the album. It's on Bandcamp. It's on other streaming services. So listen to the album. It's called Circle Breaker by the Taxpayers.
1, 2, 3. On an island in the future, where the clear blue water flows, where the bonds break like waves, where the wildflowers grow, there will be decency. There will be room in our hearts. There will be honesty. There will be love. On a mountain of tomorrow, where the pine forests thrive, where the jails are made of tin, where the wild creatures run. There will be decency. There will be room in our hearts. There will be honesty. There will be love.
And now I'm also going to play a little bit of the last track, and it's after the song is over. I think it's a really good way to conclude the album.
I love it here.
So what did you think of the last song that I played, which is called Future Island, and then that last little soundbite?
I think for me, Future Island is such a good example of what I get on a lot of folk punk albums. A song that is just so simple and so beautiful in its simplicity.
Very honest.
Very honest, very honest, simple in its words. And I mean, I love that you can go from something like Everything is Evil, which is just like noise and crazy saxophone, and then you just get this simple ballad, piano, and the words are simple, and it's just about there will be decency, there will be love. And I think that that's such an important little track to have on this album, and I can really appreciate the simplicity and the rawness of that and the openness of that. And then to kind of end the album with that little bit of just ambient noise, and again, that simplicity, and that you can kind of picture yourself just sitting somewhere and all of these noises happening around you. And then with the little children, kind of that circle coming around and new beginnings growing out of it. And then the kind of beginnings of new music as well, with the kind of the strumming of the guitar. And it's beautiful.
You almost think about what is the song that they're thinking in their mind at that moment.
What will they grow up? What music will they grow up to listen to and to make? And, you know, what is the next generation of music? And the next generation, what can they bring to the world? And that's the circle coming all the way back round, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what to protect now.
Yeah.
And what is the future.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned it, but I just really love the part where you hear the voice that says, I love it here.
I love it here.
And every time this album ends, and I've listened to the whole album, and it's a bit of a ride of emotions, and I just love to listen to this as a conclusion of it. And it's just so relaxing. And when she says, I love it here, I'm just like,
Yeah, I think that idea of wanting to start and to love where you are, it's so easy to want to flee. And sometimes being in the moment and learning to love the place that you are is such an important thing. And I think that that's where we have to start the change, is from where you are. And not everyone has that luxury. And I think that that's such an important mindset to be in. So I love that as an end to an album about circles as well, and breaking the cycle. And you don't have to change everything and uproot everything to break a cycle. You can also just start from where you are and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly said. There's nothing I can add to it. So I think we'll just conclude. We'll conclude this portion then.
Love
of
it.
Listening to Circle Breaker by the Taxpayers. And I urge everybody out there on the playa, go out there, listen to it, buy the album.
Absolutely.
Go to a show.
Go to a show.
Go to a Taxpayers show.
Go to a Taxpayers show. Go to a local show.
Yeah. You are still listening to the Social Propaganda Club radio program on Shouting Fire Radio. And this episode is also broadcast on Radio Equinox 99.5, live on the Burning Man Festival Playa in the desert in Nevada. And sitting today with me is Noah, who performs under the name Willow the Whisperer. And now we're going to listen to some of the music that you have brought with you.
Yes.
So tell me about, what is the first song that we're going to listen to? What does it mean to you? Why did you bring it?
The first song we're going to listen to is one of the first songs that ever really got me into music properly. I always listen to music. I grew up around music, but my mother is a massive Springsteen fan. And when I was very young, she handed me the lyrics to this song and said, one day you will understand that this is an important song. And then I heard it constantly because it was her ringtone for my entire childhood. And then eventually I grew up a little bit, and I did sit down and listen to this song. And it kind of changed the way that I viewed what music could be. And I'm just going to let that lead us right into it.
We'll play it in just a moment, but I just want to say how much I agree with you, and very parallel view of... I have something that I call my holy trinity of music.
Yeah.
And Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band is one of them.
Is up there.
And maybe one of the very first bands that I really was like, okay, I am a fan of this.
Yeah.
And I have to thank a friend of mine, Glenn,
Long live Glenn.
in school, who introduced me to Bruce Springsteen, and he was a fanatic about them. And Thunder Road actually is one of my favorites as well.
It's a great...
I think it's probably many people's favorites.
It's a great...
So let's listen to it.
screen door slams, Mary's dress waves. Like a vision she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again, I just can't face myself alone again. Don't run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Show a little faith, there's magic in the night. You ain't a beauty, but hey, you're alright. Oh, and that's alright with me. You can hide neath your covers and study your pain. You cross lovers, the roses and the rain. Waste your summer praying in vain for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, now I know you're all that's understood. Or redemption hanging off a girl is beneath this dirty hood. With a chance to make it good somehow. Hey, what else can we do now? Except roll down the window and let the wind blow back your hair. Well, the night's busted open, these two lanes will take us anywhere. We got one last chance to make it real, to trade in these wings on some wheels, climbing back heavens, waiting down on the tracks. Oh, come take my hand, we're riding out tonight to case the promised land. Oh, Thunder Road, oh, Thunder Road, oh, Thunder Road. Lying out there like a killer in the sun. Hey, I know it's late, we can't make it. We're like, ooh, oh, Thunder Road. Sit tight, take hold, Thunder Road. Well, I got this guitar and I learned how to make it talk. And my car's out back if you're ready to take that long walk. From your front porch to my front seat, the door's open but the ride ain't free. And I know you're lonely for words that I ain't spoken. Tonight will be great, all the promises will be broken. There were ghosts in the eyes of all the boys you sent away. They haunt this dusty beach road and the skeleton frames of burned out Chevrolets. They scream your name at night in the street. Your graduation gown lies in rags at their feet. And the lonely cool before dawn, you hear their engines roaring on. When you get to the porch, they're gone on the way. See Mary Clyde. It's a town full of losers, a pulling out of here to win.
We were just, as the song was playing, we were just screaming out, singing along.
Yeah.
It's such a moving song and such visualization of the song as well.
Yeah, and I think there's such a, like, the way that it builds as well, and the way that the music builds is so, it gives you this feeling of freedom and escape. And like for me, especially when I was like a teenager, that feeling of escape and it's gonna be okay. You can always run and feel the wind in your hair, and it's a town full of losers. We're pulling out of here to win. It was just what I needed to hear, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That there is a future.
Yeah.
Wherever it might be.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You can do something else.
Yeah, 100%.
That it will get better.
It will get better.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting little segue into the next song, which is a song kind of about the opposite, which is a song about home. This is a song that, this is a folk song. This is a traditional folk song from Scotland by Dougie MacLean called Caledonia. And it is a love song to Scotland. And I have always been split between two countries. And I grew up in Scotland, and that will always have a part of my heart and will always be a part of home for me. And home is such a wide word now for me, and where I've lived and where I have friends. But this song about Scotland will always, always sit in my heart. So it's kind of a nice segue.
I'm eager to listen to it. Also because I have, my grandmother comes from Scotland.
Oh.
The Clan MacDonald.
Oh,
Family
okay.
McEwen.
Lovely.
And so perhaps I'll ignite some sort of feeling towards Scotland as well when I listen to it. I look forward to it. Here we go.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from. And that's the reason why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I have kissed the ladies and left them crying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I have traveled hard, sometimes with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher. Well, they've withered now, they've gone. But I'm steady thinking, my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow. When the hands have shaken and the kisses flowed, well, I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
Wow, that was a beautiful song. We were just talking while we were listening to it. Do you miss Scotland?
I miss Scotland every single day of my life. I think it's such a beautiful country, and it's got such a warmth. The people have such a warmth to them, and it will always be home. And I think part of being away from your home is always knowing you can go back. And I do have that with Scotland, that I always know I can go back. And every time I do, it's beautiful, and it will always be, I always carry it with me, so I don't always need to be there. But yeah, I miss it. It's a very different country than where I am now. So
yeah, that's something that so many people who live in a different country from where they grew up.
Yeah.
And here in the Netherlands, it's so international that there are
absolutely,
you meet people like this every day, and but there's always this split. You know, you grew up, you have some roots somewhere,
yeah,
but yet you live somewhere else,
yeah,
and longing perhaps for that,
yeah,
where you came from.
And I think that like that's so much part of what I try to do with my career as well, like remembering my roots and telling folk stories and telling the mythology and the folklore that I grew up with is also a connection for me. I want to bring it to as many people, but it's also helpful for me to kind of feel grounded and to go back to my roots. So that will always be important, no matter where I am, really.
Yeah, that's a great feeling to have going forward, is being rooted somewhere. I know that I grew up in the US, and I left the US decades ago. Yeah. And I, even at the time when I left, but especially now after being away for so long, I feel disconnected. I grew up in a forgettable town, in a forgettable place. So I don't really have that connection. And when I hear a song like that, and I see that your reaction to that song, it almost makes me long to have a place like that as well.
Yeah. I think, for me, so much of my connection to my home, to Scotland, comes through music. Because there is such a rich tradition of folk music from Scotland that was just constantly around me. And as a musical person as well, that's really what stuck. And so I do, when I listen to a song like this, it immediately takes me back. And I immediately am kind of picturing myself with him sat by the fire in Scotland with a storyteller or something. And I think that's such a beautiful thing that music can do.
Yeah, wow. Why don't you introduce the next song then?
Yeah, we're going to switch it up a bit. Nice, slow song. But we are staying in Scotland. This is a Scottish artist. Some people might know this song. It was one of her big hits. She had two big hits. One was used in The Devil Wears Prada. And then this one, which is her breakthrough hit. This artist Katie Tunstall I have been following since her debut album. I think she makes the most incredible music, and I really appreciate her as an artist because she didn't break through until she was 30. And
Just hope for everyone.
very much so, but it also means that when I watch her perform and when I listen to her albums since her breakthrough, she's very self-assured. She knows who she is, and she makes the music she wants to make. And she doesn't need to be a marketable hit maker. And I think that is so admirable, and she is so herself on stage. And this song is such a clear example of that, because this song, when she created it, is made entirely with a loop pedal. And it's just her and the loop pedal, and it's watching her build this up on stage is one of the most incredible musical experiences that I've had live, because it's just like you're watching her make a single sound, and then suddenly you're hearing a wall of music, and it's just kind of incredible to witness.
Wow, I suddenly want to go to a concert with
Yeah.
her.
Next time she's here, we'll go together.
Yeah. Okay, let's listen to it then.
2, 3, 4. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, my heart knows it better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking.
Ooh, ooh.
I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree.
Ooh, ooh.
I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking.
Ooh, ooh.
But the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hey, that day, will you marry me?
Ooh, ooh.
But I said, no, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me.
Ooh.
And my heart hit a problem in the early hours, so I stopped it dead for a beat or two.
Ooh, ooh.
But I cut some cord and I shouldn't have done it, and it won't forgive me after all these years.
Ooh.
So I sent it to a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree.
Ooh, ooh.
Now I won't come back cause it's all so happy, and now I got a hole for the world to see. Yeah.
Ooh.
And it said no, 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 no. Said no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. Said no, no, you're not the one for me.
Ooh.
You're not the one for me. Ooh. No, 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 no. Ooh. No, no. Ooh. No, no. You're not the one for me. Big black horse and a cherry tree. I can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big black horse and a cherry tree. I can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me.
After listening to that song, I see where some of your musical inspiration comes from.
Very much so. I've always been extremely inspired by her and the way she is on stage and the kind of music she makes. And I like, if you listen to more of her other albums as well, she dances through genres in a very interesting way that I also admire a lot. So yeah, if you come and see me live a lot and then you go and listen to a lot of Katie Tunstall, it's not insane to kind of see where a lot of my influences come from. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was very catchy. It was very honest.
Yeah.
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 What's the next song then?
The next song is We Are Leaving Scotland and We Are Going to America.
Oh no.
We are going to America.
Do we have visas?
I don't know. And I don't know if we'll get through the tariffs either, but
don't say anything bad.
See. Exactly.
about that country or that person.
No.
And then we'll get in.
Everything's fine. And I am a normal citizen. But we are traveling to America because you were talking about, not having music from where you come from. But there is American folk music. And I have always been a massive, massive fan. Also thanks to my mother, who has the taste of a middle-aged lesbian, of Tracy Chapman. And I fell in love with her voice from, the second that I heard it. And her political lyrics, especially in that debut album, which I just listen to all the time. Those political lyrics and the melodies and how haunting that whole album is really inspires me. And I can't do a show about music without mentioning Tracy Chapman.
Oh, very much an influence on you then.
Oh, yeah.
Which song of hers
we are going to listen to Talking About a Revolution.
Okay.
It's not the first song I ever heard of her, but it's the one that sticks with me. And I think as an album opener as well, I think it's such a brave choice to open your debut album with that song. And I've watched a clip of her singing it live in front of that massive crowd, and it's just her and a guitar, an acoustic guitar, singing this song, and it's just always left a lasting impression on me.
Yeah. I've also always liked Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy this as well. Here we go.
Don't you know, they're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, they're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. It sounds poor people gonna rise up, get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh, while they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. And finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh no.
We were just talking about how we just love the way she arranges songs and her voice, all so unique.
Yeah, and so simple, and yet there's so much going on, and it evokes such a mood with so little complexity, and I think that's such a powerful ability as an artist as well.
Yeah, and also a song like that, we were talking about how things can mean so much to so many different people,
Yeah.
and from different perspectives. And when you talk about a revolution,
Yeah.
it can be a personal revolution. It can be someone wanting a revolution because they see the system that they live in
and
being
injustice.
unfair and injustice.
Yeah.
It can mean so many different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's so powerful. And I mean, that I have that with Springsteen as well. You know, taking such large issues and breaking them down into simple music that connects people. And that is how a revolution starts, right? It is that connection. It is a community. And I think that she does that so successfully in all of her music. But really in this song, I think it's really comes to the front.
Viva la revolution.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. To the barricades.
To the barricades.
So what is the next song we're going to hear?
The next song, that was it for America. We're done now.
Okay.
But we are
Goodbye,
going...
America.
Goodbye, America. If we can get back out again, that would be really nice. We're going back to the UK. We're going to do a Kate Bush song. Kate Bush, I think, you know, I grew up with music and poetry and Springsteen and Tracy Chapman and all these like poets. And I listened to Kate Bush and her lyrics are also poetry, but it was her as an artist and the whole kind of package of costume, music, art, themes. And I think potentially Wuthering Heights, which is the song we're going to listen to, was the first song that I ever heard that was kind of conceptual. This is about a book. It is the plot. Well, it's a section of the plot of the book, which is also one of my favorite books ever written. So that helps. But I have gone on to make music about very specific, strange things, historical events, that kind of thing. And this is kind of where that stems from, me realizing that that was a possibility, that I could really write about anything. And I just had to commit. And I think that Kate Bush, for me, was always someone who fully committed to the bit. And yeah. And also it's very important to note that she was 16 when she wrote this. And that is, every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is a great song. Oh my God, she was 16. And that is such a talent.
Yeah, I think what you were saying about being the whole package as an artist, it's so inspiring and a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
When you see someone who just oozes creativity.
Yeah.
And they don't do it because a fashion advisor or a marketing team has told them you should wear this or you should present yourself in this way. It's just them being them. Being them and being a true artist. Yeah. And that in the broadest sense of that word. And I think when Kate Bush first started making music, I think it was early 90s. Yeah. There wasn't many other people around who did it to the extent that she did. No, and I think it's very interesting that she was discovered by David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. And I'm not necessarily always into the prog rock scene. It evades me a little bit. But it is where the experimentation was happening in that period. And it is so interesting to me that she, as a pop artist, was discovered by... you know, the guys who were over there doing the strange whale noises, because that is, you know, what art can be and the growth and the full scope of what art can be. Yeah. Beautiful. Let's listen to the song. Let's.
Ooh, it gets down.
great music from a very unique person, and we were just figuring out when that came out. That came out in 1978.
Yeah.
What a unique sound for that period of time.
Yeah, there was really no one making music like that around her at the time. She was just kind of an island of creativity.
What is the next song that we're going to listen to?
The next song we're going to listen to is from one of my favorite artists of all time. I literally have a book merchandise, a t-shirt merchandise of her right now. This is a folk artist from the UK called Grace Petrie, and she's a political protest singer. And this is, I could not pick which song to play, and this one is one that I just constantly come back to. It is about knowing yourself, and I think the music will speak enough. I don't think I need to explain it too much.
I don't think I've ever heard this name, and I sort of pride myself in knowing most folk music from UK.
I'll send you a
US,
starter
and
pack.
elsewhere, but wow, I look forward to listening to this. Here we go.
Well, it's a jungle out there. The year 2018, I didn't think we'd still be sorting babies into blue and pink. And all our progress, well, I wonder what it means that the only girls' clothes that work for me turn out to be boyfriend jeans. Well, that's fine, 'cause I decline a narrow set of rules that just don't work. 'Cause these red lines, well, they're not mine. And if you need me, you can find me ironing my shirt, 'cause I'm in black tie tonight. Get a postcard to mine year 11 self in a year 11 hell, saying everything's gonna be alright. No, you won't grow out of it. You will find clothes that fit, and the images that fucked you were a patriarchal structure. And you never will surrender to a narrow view of gender. And I swear there'll come a day when you won't worry what they say on the labels, on the doors. You will figure out what's yours. And it's a bloody nightmare, trying to fight the spread of bigotry and fear that's uniting Piers Morgan and Jermaine Greer. And all our progress, yeah, I wonder who it's for, when I dared to utter that trans lives matter here, and all I got was a turf war. Well, that's fine, 'cause I decline your narrow set of rules, they just don't work. These red lines, well, they're not mine. And if you need me, you can find me ironing my shirt, 'cause I'm in black tie tonight. Get a postcard to mine year 11 self in a year 11 hell, saying everything's gonna be alright. No, you won't grow out of it. You will find the clothes that fit, and the images that fucked you were a patriarchal structure. And you never will surrender to a narrow view of gender. And I swear there'll come a day when you won't worry what they say on the labels, on the doors. You will figure out what's yours. You will figure out what's yours, and that it's got nothing to do with fitting neatly in a box that was constructed to make it seem like people come in just two teams, and anything that's in between ain't good enough. And you will love, and you'll be loved, and you're in black tie tonight. Get a postcard to my year 11 self in a year 11 hell, darling, everything's gonna be alright. No, you won't grow out of it. You will find clothes that fit, and the images that fucked you were a patriarchal structure. No, you never will surrender to that narrow view of gender. And there's folks you've yet to meet, but
you're exactly up their street, and they've been waiting just as long to hear someone sing this song. And better days are on their way, when it won't matter what they say. On the labels, on the doors, you will figure out what's yours. And girl, you're gonna be so happy. And girl, you're gonna be just fine. And girl, you're gonna be so happy. Down the line, down the line.
I am in love with a new artist. I always love discovering new artists, and you have served something up to me, and I just wonder, maybe I've just completely missed it, but it is odd that I have never come across this artist, because we were talking about she was discovered by Billy Bragg, and I've listened to Billy Bragg for so long, and we were just wondering, well, is the algorithm patriarchal as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Let's be cynical about it. I just think she's such an incredible artist, and the community that she's built around her as well. Like, shout out to the People Who Love Grace Facebook group that I'm a part of, is such a welcoming community of people. And when we were talking about, finding community, going to local shows, they are the absolute epitome of that. And she encourages that as an artist. She encourages this community feeling, and I just think she's such an important voice currently in certainly in the UK scene, but I think outside of that as well.
Yeah, also both, we were talking about the rhyming structure of Fuck Yeah and Structure.
Yeah.
And it's great and so creative, but the message of the song too.
Yeah.
And it's something that's dear to me.
Yeah.
I know it's also something that's very important to you.
Absolutely. It's her combination of like really strong melodies and extremely clever lyrics are, to me, some of the most unique out there, I think.
Yeah, I look forward to listening to Hours and Hours.
Yes.
I'm going to tune in. And so tell me, what was the thing on your shirt again?
Yeah, so I have You Never Will Surrender to a Narrow View of Gender. Yeah.
And it's Grace Petrie.
Grace Petrie. Yeah.
So look it up.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. Look her up. She's incredible.
Excellent. What is the last song that we're going to listen to?
Final song. Speaking of inspirations, this is one of my own songs I've brought. This is the song that for me changed the way that I wrote music, the way that I released music. This is the first concept song I ever wrote, and it's on my first concept album, which is about the history of lipstick, which is obviously a very normal thing to write about. But this is the song that started it all, and got me writing melodies and lyrics differently. And it's about when they used to put radium in face creams and makeup in America. And obviously that didn't go so well.
No.
But
your song did go well.
My song did go well.
And I've heard you perform the song several times, and it's always great.
Yeah, it's a good fun. And that's kind of what I like about it.
Drove into Illinois with my girl on a dark and cloudless night, and all I could see for miles was the glow of the stars in my headlights. Pulled into a motel and gave the receptionist my name. Glanced at the screen above her head, and my life's never been the same. 'Cause Dorothy, she told me that her new makeup was the craze, and with just a hint of radium, our beauty never would decay. Won't you be my half-life lover? Got a countdown clock till we go. Saw an advert on the TV that said this lipstick will make you glow. Put your arms around me and maybe we smell just like the stars. And I'll let the chemicals in your kiss seep into all my scars. Singing ooh, 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 plutonium lipstick is gonna chase away all my blues. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's only fashion, baby. What the hell have we got to lose? We ignored all of the warnings and we were better than the rest. And radiation poisoning was just made up by the press. We lived our life at its highest point and our skin was feeling fresh. Fused our minds and souls together in the sins of heart and flesh. But Dorothy, she lied to me and we were rotting from the inside. Now the Geiger counter clicks away, reminding us that we're gonna die. Won't you be my half-life lover? Got a countdown clock till we go. Saw an advert on the TV that said this lipstick will make you glow. Put your arms around me and baby we smell just like the stars. And I'll let the chemicals in your kiss seep into all my scars. Singing ooh, 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 ooh. My new plutonium lipstick is gonna chase away all my blues. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's only fashion, baby. What the hell have we got to lose? Ooh, 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 ooh. It's only fashion, baby. What the hell have we got to lose?
That was Willow the Whisperer, who is on all streaming services, apps, and Bandcamp. So tune in on Bandcamp and send them some money so they can buy some coffee.
Yes.
And that brings us to the end of our program. So thank you, Noah, for coming in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And we've talked about some other concepts that we might do in the future.
Absolutely.
So we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And so I look forward to having you back.
I would love to come back.
And so everybody out there on the Playa or anyone else listening, thank you for joining us on the Social Propaganda Club, on Shouting Fire Radio, and also simulcast on 99.5 FM Radio Equinox.